Unity game engine. It definitely got a lot of controversy about a month or two ago when they released their new pricing policy. I don't even know if I should say controversial because that would imply that some people liked it and some people didn't. Yeah, the pricing policy they had came out with about a month or two ago was universally disliked by any and all spectators, even if they were somebody who was just not a game developer. Everybody saw it just was not good. It seemed greedy, and so therefore Unity seemed to lose a lot of trust from their customers. Well, Unity just had a conference, and it definitely seems like they're trying to shift their focus back to improving things, mainly with, their game engine itself rather than their pricing policy. So first off, Unity announced Muse, which is a collection of AI tools aimed at simplifying game creation. Priced at $30 per month, this is going to be a separate package to Unity's base engine. Now, this was unveiled all the way back in July, but they unveiled a lot more details about it during this conference. Muse will cater to developers seeking to streamline game development without extensive coding. It's described as an ever-expanding suite of AI-powered features. It's going to have a chatbot for code sourcing, as well as a 2D sprite creation tool and a texture generation tool for 2D and 3D objects. The tools are trained on Unity-owned or licensed data, which ensures compliance with copyright laws. They're saying Muse is going to evolve with upcoming AI mechanisms for character animation and NPC behaviors, which they're saying is going to eliminate the need for coding. So coding is definitely one thing that is very tedious and time-consuming for game developers, so these AI tools are advertised as being something that's going to cut down a lot of your time and resources that you're spending on coding within your game. Now, the Unity conference also introduced Centis, which is an AI-powered neural engine that's currently in open beta. Now, this also seems to be a program that's going to be solving complex coding problems, as well as creating new in-game features. Now, I would say the main thing that was unveiled in the conference is Unity 6. Just to give you a reference point, Unity launched in 2005 with how we know it today as Unity 1, and right now they are on Unity 5, which actually released all the way back in 2015, 8 years ago, which is definitely significant if you think about it, because Unity 1 through Unity 5, they got a new version upgrade basically once every 2 or 3 years. So the fact that they have now waited 8 years to come out with Unity 6, it definitely says a lot, and hopefully it means that they've spent a lot of time and focus on making Unity 6 the best and most streamlined product that it can be. And it definitely seems that way. They definitely showed off a lot of features and upgrades that Unity 6 will have. They emphasized responsible AI techniques to avoid copyright infringement. There's apparently going to be a ton of innovations and platform updates, including custom models trained on owned or licensed imagery. Now, they did add that while this approach enhances safety, a potential initial quality reduction is maybe to be expected in the models. So going back to Muse, the $30 a month thing is definitely something that a lot of people are going to be discussing in terms of, its value. It's a lot of good AI tools, but is it worth $30 a month? That is for the people to decide. I definitely think if you are working on a very big budget game, $30 a month is probably not that big of a deal. The conference showcased cutting edge AI innovations and platform upgrades. Those are the main two things that I seem to get from it. They just talked a lot about AI and a lot about upgrades, and it's probably a good thing overall. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely careful when it comes to my feelings on AI. I don't want it to be an excuse for game developers to be lazy, but it seemed like a lot of what Unity talked about with AI was more focused on making it easier and more streamlined for developers to make very big games. They also talked about the introduction of Unity Cloud. But yeah, overall, just a lot of improvements, a lot of upgrades. Unity 6 is going to have an accelerated multiplayer game development and new web GPU graphics for running games on the internet. The conference was definitely big for Unity as they try to win back the trust that they seem to kind of lose from their customers. We got details on Muse, as well as the announcement of Centis and the big one, Unity 6. With the last version of Unity being released in 2015, I'm definitely excited to see what this means for game development as we go forward. Because as I see it, this is 8 years in the making, and they're definitely showing it off like that. There's definitely going to be a lot of upgrades, a lot of updates, a lot of AI streamlining techniques. It's definitely a big moment for Unity right now. Hopefully they can win back the trust that they lost a couple months ago. It definitely seems like they can, and a lot of big companies use Unity. It's by no means a small game engine. It is very big, very popular. I don't think they want to lose the trust that that they've gained from all of these big game developers. So I'm expecting Unity 6 to be a very, very big and monumental product. And I really think and I really hope that it's going to be big for game development.